Hi guys, we're the Rat Zone. My name is Conradi,
I'm Absolute Goop.
Hi, I'm Ashfire.
And I am Amicus.
and we also have a special guest with us today. So our game is chairs, and let's just go ahead and hop right on into it. I guess the first thing to talk about is this is actually based on it's a recreation, reimagining, however you want to phrase it, of a Game Jam game that Ashfire and Absolute Goob made back in 2016.
Yeah, so game is a bit of an overstatement. We cobbled it together back in 2016 out of just sleep deprivation. We originally based in the concept was reverse Katamari Damacy, which turns out doesn't really translate into a very functional game, but we kind of held on to the concept for a little bit and decided to turn it into an actual game that's playable.
Why chairs? I do need to ask that because people are going to ask.
Honestly, we were just like sitting in front of a whiteboard, brainstorming and idly drawing a chair because,
Chair. For me, inspirations on this was like Sonic games and Perfect Stride, which is like the game Absolute Goob showed me as reference. Did you guys have like any references for your contributions on this?
Yeah. So I had a couple of references. Obviously, Perfect Stride, which is the game I showed Conradi, and then Cruelty Squad, which I mostly took from like the UI of that game. It's very maximalist. And then LSD Dream Emulator, which is a fun retro game. The art didn't really start out with a particular style or concept in mind. It just kind of unfolded over the course of production.
Also, a fun fact I feel is very worth noting here. Those spinning rats in the background are actually 3D scans of ourselves.
Yeah, that's true. I actually did play around with photogrammetry for chairs.
That's why this game looks so photorealistic.
Exactly.
The secret is out of the bag. They now know we're rats. I guess one thing I'll say is I put in smaller details that were references to 90s games, like the trains and that background is from Mario Sunshine. There's like a bunch of Wii and N64 references all over the place, so if you dig, you'll find lots of
old classical sound effects that we just found and put in our game.
What were your like music references, Ash?
Honestly, mostly just random terrible jungle from the 90s, but terrible in a good way, and some like more modern drum and bass stuff. I definitely referenced a lot of AU5 and Noise's sound design tutorials and work. Yeah, it actually ended up being, so the first drum beat that I ever taught myself how to play on an actual drum kit was the break beat from the opening of Sonic Heroes, which is just an amen break. That drum is just always playing in my head all the time.
I think there's also a part of the Zero Zone track that has a vague reference to Army of Me.
Oh yeah, the chorus is in a weird scale mode, Locrian. I just wanted to write something in Locrian because I'd never done it before, which is why it sounds a little...
By the way, since you're watching gameplay footage to all of our talking, just so you know what's going on, it's a non-linear game for each level, but it's linear in the order in which you play them. Basically, there's those prisms, triangles throughout the level. You have to collect so many, you can see that in the top left right up there, but there's actually way more than enough triangles, so you can actually route your way through the level and figure out which ones you want to get and which ones you want to skip. So it's really interesting to see what routes people come up with. I'm not even sure if the best routes have been found yet, because there's so many possibilities in the space.
We do have a speed-running arms race. In fact, one of these contestants actually got under 12 minutes for the entire game. Very, very impressive and scary.
Yeah, we only made a 12-minute long game, I guess.
Shout out Bainhart.
Yeah,
and Neartech.
Yeah, good job both of you guys for playing the levels that took us 9 months in 12 minutes.
I'm gonna be real here. I think I might be the worst person at this game, just generally.
Well, we'll have a slow running arms race as well.
If someone stands in place for a week and then starts moving.
I would stand in front of Terrence and just observe for a while, you know?
That's fair. Speaking of Terrence and story, there actually is a story in this game, believe it or not, and that was where a big part of Amicus's part came in doing dialogue recording for us. What was that like?
Yeah, so there's the announcer in this game, one for like just the like random nice and things like that, and the ones that you kind of hear in the tutorial as well, or kind of the first level, is I kind of just got references for things like the Wii Sports announcer and like 1940s game show hosts, things like that. and getting a script that just says collect the prisms and things about like the final dinner is otherworldly. And so I just kind of leaned into it.
So out of curiosity, do you think that you were able to understand the story purely from the script that you were sent, or
No. No.
fair enough?
Not at all. Yeah, it was an interesting experience, and I love scripts like this because it's very fun to just mess around with
Yeah, so if you're a big lore hunter, feel free to dive into the insanity. I guess not even the voice actor who recorded everything understood it. Speaking of, by the way, the game is on Steam and it's out now. If you wanna play it and try to start competing and get on the leaderboards for any of the levels, good luck and have at it.
Also, very important, major shout out to Terrence. We love Terrence. We worship Terrence. We stare at Terrence. Also, that S looks kind of familiar.